Speak Studios. Speak and be heard.
From the corner!
Sack and Jack, he's Rob Sacre. I'm Jack Ferris. This is coming out June 21st, Rob.
I like how you keep it updated and like
yes.
keep it sharp.
Because otherwise we'll say stuff and people are like not down with the time travel.
Yeah, no, I get it. I completely get it. No, man. I like this background you got going on back there.
Oh, well, we're a stone's throw from 4th of July, pal. And I was thinking about going all USA. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my background is half of the American flag, the good half with the 50 stars, and half of the Canadian flag.
You know what the red
leaf
stands for?
On the Canadian flag?
Yeah.
Courage.
Both sides represent both oceans.
Oh, red oceans, huh? What are you guys?
Well,
commies up there?
Right?
That's not cool.
No, like it represents coast to coast. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know. We might need to look that up. But
so the white in the middle represents all the people?
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, exactly. Just a big leaf in the middle too. I believe it's coast to coast.
I mean, I'm sure you're right.
It sounds like a good answer. I don't know.
This is going to sound either really lame or really adorable, but maybe both. A couple of weeks ago, my mom and I were driving home from visiting my grandma, and by the way, it was like 85 degrees where she lives, and we went out to lunch. Guess what grandma wanted to have?
Poutine.
Chinese food. 85 degrees.
What's wrong with that?
It for lunch? Chow mein when it's 85 degrees out.
I have no problem with that though. Dude, I have to get comfortable talking about.
We're on like 4 different tangents, but yes, yes.
We're all over the place. But that being said, Chinese I don't see anything wrong with that at all. It's when people have soup. That's when I have an issue, when it's too hot and they want to serve like some spicy soup.
Buddy, like, guess what was on the table?
Oh,
soup.
War wonton.
Yeah, soup for sure.
Oh, no, see, that's when I have an issue. You can't cool down after soup.
Fortunately, we sat inside, but there were people outside eating Chinese food. 85 degrees outside. Anyway, my mom and I were driving home after this excursion, and we tried to name all the Canadian provinces. Couldn't do it.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. We got British Columbia.
Yep.
Ontario.
Why don't you just go from east to west?
Because I can't. I wish I could, pal. British Columbia, Ontario, Yukon.
Yukon's a territory.
Isn't that okay? Yukon territories. Isn't that a province?
Nope, it's a territory.
So Northwest Territories and Yukon are not.
You got three territories. You got 3 territories and 10 or 11 provinces.
Okay. You're rolling your eyes, but I guarantee you 99% of listeners are with me on this. Okay. British Columbia.
Yep.
Ontario.
Correct.
Quebec.
Yep.
That's the dirty Frenchies.
Yep.
Manitoba.
Yep.
Regina.
Regina is a city.
I mean, I ran out of gas. I don't know. So, okay. So
I'll go from west to east because I always you got British Columbia.
Okay. As we do this, what kind of people live there?
They're the LA of Canada.
Vancouver.
BC people. Yeah.
Vancouver is like a mini Hollywood. People don't realize that. A lot of movies shot up in Vancouver.
And commercials.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen more car commercials shot up in Vancouver. I'm like, oh, that's Granville Street Bridge. You go British Columbia, capital city is Victoria. Alberta, Edmonton, capital city. Saskatchewan, Regina is the capital city.
What people live here?
Okay, so you got LA and BC.
Uh-huh.
That's the comparison. But then I would say, like, you go interior, then you kind of have more of the lumberjack, like the typical face of Canada, like the flannel lumberjack kind of guy, once you get out of Vancouver. And that's like British Columbia.
Okay.
So you got that. Alberta's Cowboys.
Cowboys.
That's our Montana. They're known for oil and beef. It's like our Cowboys of Canada.
So ranchers. And that makes sense because they're due north of Montana. Correct.
Due north of Montana. They're all about oil and making money. And
who isn't, baby? Who isn't?
Exactly. The Oilers, for God's sake, Edmonton.
Oh, so Edmonton. So where's Calgary?
Calgary's south. Calgary's 6.5, 7-hour drive from Spokane.
Right, but that's also in
Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you got Saskatchewan, and Regina is the capital city, but Saskatoon is the bigger city in
Saskatoon,
which I don't know if I've said this on the show. I have never been to a better basketball tournament in my life, but the Brit tournament in Saskatoon. We would go every year, and it's called the Western Invitationals, and they bring all the best teams of Western Canada into this tournament, and the whole city basically like support it. Dude, it's a standing crowd. It's crazy. It's the only thing going on in the winter time in Saskatoon.
Makes sense.
It's a pretty cool atmosphere. So you got Saskatoon and Saskatchewan. Those are your farmer, like not ranchers, but like that's our Iowa, basically.
Got it. Not so much livestock, but goods from the earth.
Yes, correct. So you got those guys, and Letterkenny or whatever that's your Saskatoon type of guy. Winnipeg, I can't speak anything on that. It's just land.
Chicago? Not Chicago?
No, because Winnipeg is in Manitoba. That you got that right. No.
So the Dakotas.
Pretty much.
With all due respect to the Dakotas.
Then you go Manitoba, Ontario. Ontario's like the New York, or I should say Toronto is the New York of Canada. And then you got Quebec, which is just its own country, basically. I don't know. I can't.
So Florida, call it Florida.
Very, very close. Just a hodgepodge, whatever. Then you got Nova Scotia. That's a city.
Nova Scotia is a province.
Nova Scotia is a province. The capital city is Halifax, which Trailer Park Boys is out of.
Oh, okay. And
they have their own. They speak a whole different language, almost like a different English, like park, and I don't know how they just speak differently over there. It's not English, but it's not French. It's just different.
Does it sound like Boston accent?
Yeah, similar to that kind of thing. Yeah, if you watch Trailer Park Boys, that's Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and then our boy Kyle, his family's from Newfoundland, Newfoundland, and St. John's is the capital.
The Newfies.
Oh, and I forgot Prince Edward Island. There's a little province called Prince Edward Island.
So how many is that? Is that 10 or 9? 8?
I want to say did I say New Brunswick? I would say 11.
And then the territories are Northwest Territories, the Yukon.
Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut.
It's called Nunavut.
Nunavut.
Like how much of Canada I want.
Right. Yeah.
Do you refer to Yukon as Yukon or the Yukon?
Ooh. I kind of like the Yukon better. I think it just sounds more. It sounds like Ohio State, the Yukon.
I want to say, did you ever read The Hatchet?
That sounds really familiar.
I think everyone who's in like 5th or 6th grade has to read it. This
Yeah.
guy's this kid's in a plane that goes down. The pilot dies.
Yes,
and it's
I've
just
seen
him
the
and a
movie.
hatchet.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
And they refer to it as the Yukon.
The Yukon. Yeah. Well, isn't Cornelius Jones or whatever his name from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Isn't he from?
I don't know.
I thought that Cornelius whatever is from the Yukon as well. Dude, I've never been to the territories, any of the territories in my life.
I mean, what kind of people live up there? That's like north of the wall stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're the Alaska of Canada. But I don't think people realize how big Canada is.
Yeah.
Like British Columbia, I would honestly say, don't quote me on this, is probably the same size of all of the West Coast in Canada.
Oh, the coastal line or just
or in America?
I would look that up, but that's too much math for me.
No, I know it's a lot of math, but I would say it's pretty close. Now, I haven't looked at a map, so I could probably be talking out of my ass, but I believe it's the same like length of the whole West Coast.
What province would you be willing to trade me for a state?
New Brunswick.
Yeah, but I gotta want it a little bit.
Okay,
so it's gotta be a
that's
little.
fair. That's
it's
fair.
Gotta be a little sweeter.
Ooh, it would probably be Manitoba. They got a lot of polar bears there.
Manitoba. Isn't that the one where you said you have nothing good to say about it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think.
Okay, what's the net? What's the rancher one with Calgary?
Oh, Calgary. Alberta.
All right, I want that. I feel like Montana is too on the nose, that trade, huh? If I gave you Montana.
Exactly. It's a wash.
So what about
both got great beef?
What if I gave you Wisconsin and Minnesota?
Dude, Minnesota's already Canadian.
That's why we don't want them. You can have it.
And Wisconsin, what has Wisconsin done for us lately other than make us angry at Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, do you enjoy cheese? Who doesn't like cheese? Who doesn't like beer? Bratwurst?
Oh, that is, dude, Milwaukee is the worst. I'm sorry. No, you can't win me on that one. That's
Milwaukee's
not I will trade you Saskatchewan. I like Quebec, even though I haven't been there. I'll give you Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and I'll throw in Ontario just because, for Louisiana and I'll get and Florida. Louisiana and Florida.
Done.
What you just gonna throw Florida out there?
Bro, you just gave me like 70% of the Canadian population. You gave me Ontario. Just but quote unquote, just because
I knew you wouldn't take anything else. But we get Florida, we have Miami, we have Disney World.
Yeah,
Florida's just that state that, like, Florida's like that cousin that you just don't you want to say you're related, but you just can't admit that you're related to that.
Everyone in the family says hi to him at Thanksgiving, and then he immediately brings up his latest Facebook posts and whether or not people have read them. And you've seen them, but you're like, no, I haven't quite had the time to read it.
Or he's just got these, like, Florida's that cousin that just, don't let him get into the beer, guys. Do not let him get into the beer. That's Florida,
as long as we have like Georgia, Hilton Head, South Carolina, North Carolina. I mean, not great beaches, never been. But I think that's a fair trade.
Have you been onto the East Coast at all?
Only for trips when I was like in high school and elementary school.
So what, like DC, I'm guessing?
DC, yep. Where else have I been? Nowhere. How sad is that? Nowhere, really.
That's when we're gonna make our road trip.
Nowhere.
We're gonna just get an RV and travel and do a podcast in each major city.
Done.
That'd be ridiculous.
Plus, the
I'd be
people
down.
of Florida, how they would feel about being annexed by Canada. I'm sure not great.
No, they're Florida. They have no idea. Majority of people have no idea what's going on in Florida, anyways.
Well, so why do you want them? You just like the real
Because
estate.
they got good beach,
Yeah.
bingo, and the weather. Well, hurricanes, but still.
So
We'll take
Canada would probably be the only country then that's home to both polar bears and alligators.
Agreed. Isn't that the cool thing about North America? We have all that type of stuff involved in one. Like we have polar bears, we have alligators. That's the cool thing about we have every terrain you could think about in North America.
Yeah, brother. Take that, other continents.
Yeah,
Nerds.
exactly. Yeah, but no, you need to get on the East Coast, man. Check that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm just trying to think of what would be a good place to check out, though. I don't know. I wouldn't, not Philadelphia.
Dude, I've never been to New York.
New York's cool, man. I think it's you're a California guy. I think you can only be there for so long, though.
Before I
the
start
people
crying.
aren't as friendly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I'll generalize and whatever and put it all on one. Everyone's in a rush to get somewhere. It's so completely opposite of the West Coast.
There's a song called Sunscreen, narrated by Baz Luhrmann, where he just issues life advice. And one part is live in New York City, believe before it makes you hard. Live in San Francisco, believe before it makes you soft.
That's spot on.
It's the summer solstice as people are listening to this today. It's technically on the 20th.
Yep.
But it'll be the 21st.
Are you a big fan of that or no?
I'm a big pagan ritual guy.
Well,
No. I was looking up before we started recording. I literally Googled craziest summer solstice rituals and couldn't find anything crazy enough to share. I was looking for like animal sacrifices, human sacrifices.
Well, here's the thing. For me, I get really sad. You know how I get after winter? I get really sad after summer solstice.
Right, because the days get shorter and shorter.
I honestly, I'm like, damn. Our summer, that's our summer right there, man.
I know, dude. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. It's bittersweet.
I try not to be negative about it, but I'm like, damn, dude. Like, there's nothing like waking up and there's sun like coming up. Like at you and I are early birds, 5, 6 in the morning. You see it light out, you know what I mean? But when and you understand this living up here, when it's wintertime here, boys, man, it is hard to get up.
It's hard to do anything.
Dude, it doesn't get light until 7, and then it gets dark right at 3:30. You're like, oh man, that is a struggle. And I think it was the hardest this past year for me. That was the first time I was like, I really noticed it. I'm like, damn, I can't get upward. I can't get up at all, man.
What, you think that's just because you're getting older, or like, did you always have this problem?
I just never noticed it. I think, I was just always focused playing basketball. So it really didn't matter what time, and I never slept in or never got up as early as I did, I didn't have as responsibilities like I do now. So like now waking up, I'm like, damn, it's still dark out. Like, and then you just kind of savor whatever daylight you have during that time.
Anything planned for the longest day of the year, Rob?
Oh man, I'm gonna just sit back, relax, drink some beer.
You're not gonna play 72 holes of golf?
Are you're that type of guy?
No, I probably will never do that. But I had a buddy that did it in at Bandon Dunes, 72 holes. That's nuts.
My
In one day.
buddy, my coach from Japan, he's from Alaska, and he said they started golfing at 10 at night.
So 10 at night. So when's the darkest up there? Probably like 1 or 2, but it doesn't get fully dark.
Right. It doesn't go down at all.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
I couldn't. That's why people are. I mean, I've always thought if you live in Alaska, you've either been there for 9 generations and you just don't know anything else, or you're hiding from something. You're hiding from your past or the law or both. You know what I mean?
Like, is that the state that like you just have to get away from? Like, that is your like only other option to escape.
Well, yeah, because I do know, you hear of people that go up and live in Alaska for like 5-6 years, maybe for a job, maybe they're like oil people or whatever, but they always come back. You know what I mean? People don't put down roots.
Right.
Normal people. Okay. I don't know if we have any Alaskan listeners. We could look this up.
What about our boy Monk?
Monk is in Alaska. That's correct. Nick
We should
Gutierrez.
get him on the show just to have like a little 15-minute segment just to hear what his 2 cents of what a lot.
We should Zoom call him at like 3 a.m. though.
Monk,
Just to see
God
it.
bless that little guy, was the best roommate I've ever had.
Oh, that's right. You guys lived together.
Yeah, we lived together, but he never lived at the house at all.
He never paid rent.
No,
Yeah.
that was the craziest part.
Yeah.
He paid rent.
But he never lived at the house? What does that mean?
Yes.
How does that work? What was he doing? He just was never home?
He was, what was he doing? Was he fighting fires at that time?
I don't know.
He just had he had a room in the back and he just paid rent and he was never late on the rent, but never was at the house.
Good for him. Yeah, he's from Oroville, Washington, which, is a stone's throw from BC, Okanagan County, shout out. So he's that kind of guy to go up to Alaska. But you know what? I stand by my assertion because if you know Monk, you know that he's just the exception to the rule. He's not hiding from anything.
We don't know.
We
don't know if he's not.
Dude, how about this? So remember last year when like Zoom happy hours was all the rage, everyone would pop on,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Monk joined us one night and we hadn't seen Monk in like 2-3 years, which is, the kind of stuff you'd expect from a guy who lives in Alaska voluntarily. And he gets on, we're like, Monk, he's like, hey, what's up? I'm kind of sore. We're like, what? How are you sore? Like, what happened? Did you work out today or something? He's like, no, I was in a plane crash.
What?
I was in a plane crash, dude. In the middle of nowhere. And some other plane had to come pick him up, him and his buddy. But that's like the norm.
No,
it's like a fender bender.
Yeah, like it is. Like we got to go play a game. Well, we got to go fly to Ketchikan or Juneau or whatever. That's just, instead of a school bus, you just take a plane.
In a plane crash.
Oh,
There was something that have you seen the Ernest Hemingway PBS doc? My guess is no, not yet.
Yeah, that's just, I saved it. It's on my saved to watch list.
Dude, I believe I'm getting this right, was in 2 plane crashes back to back.
Hemingway?
Yeah. How about that? Back to back plane crashes.
Well, it's like this is terrible, but there's a guy in Japan when Hiroshima got bombed, he was there. And then he ran, and what was the other city? Whatever. He ran to or got to the other city to alert everybody, and then that city got bombed as well.
Are you talking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like that. You just have bad luck. I'm sorry. You just have bad luck. If you're going like plane back to back planes or back to back bomb, I'm sorry. You just have some bad. Stay away from me. That's what I have to say.
Question about 4th of July for you.
Mm.
Do you fully lean into 4th of July, or are you like half in, given that you're half Canadian?
So here's the crazy thing. If I really wanted to get down, that week is my favorite week. The first is Canada Day.
Yes. Okay, so let's back up there. Canada Day. What does that mean? Fireworks, apple pie, hot dogs, the same thing?
Independence, all that type of, fireworks, crazy, like everybody's having a good time.
So you guys just looked down south at the 4th of July celebrations for quite some time, and you were like, you know what? We're doing the same thing. We're just doing it 3 days earlier. And
we're going to beat them to the punch.
Yeah, that way we could say they're copying us.
I agree. Well, and then you have the 4th of July like 3 to 4 days later, and it's just the same.
So it is. So major cities have fireworks shows, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. Et cetera, et cetera. There's a day off. Everybody's excited,
So, okay, how about this? Fortunately, we have like 15 to 20 must play hell yeah America songs down here on 4th of July,
Right.
Do you have any of that in Canada outside of O Canada? O Canada does not count.
I'm trying to think of any Canadian.
It's got to be like a Bryan Adams song or something, right?
Bryan Adams went to the high school next to near my house. He went to our rival high school.
There you have it, folks.
Maybe some Michael Bublé. We're more like, we're classier drunk, I guess.
No way. You don't like to rub it in people's faces. Hell yeah, Canada songs. Google search. What is it? What is the holiday called?
Canada Day.
Canada Day pop songs.
Maybe some Anne Murray.
Canada Day, the very maple indie party.
No, I would think some tragically hip. They're a Canadian band. I'm just trying to think, maybe some Drake somewhere in there.
You know what's funny though is Canadian artists are too smart, and like a band like Rush isn't gonna. They're not gonna write a song that alienates Americans. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to focus on songs that can be played throughout North America. Whereas, I love how I'm just figuring this out live. Whereas American artists, A, are self-centered enough, B, don't need to worry so much about Canadian consumers that they just write hell yeah America songs all day long. Let me ask you this. Do you hear like proud to be an American in Vancouver?
Occasionally, once in a while. When you get an American radio station, because we get a lot of American radio stations up there.
Yeah. What's crazy is this is fun for Spokane. I guess for years and years, like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, up in Calgary, the one station they got crystal clear on, regular analog deal was KXOY out of Spokane.
That doesn't surprise me.
So like KXOY people were celebrities specifically in Canada.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
No, it's the same with like in Vancouver, you get all the BC or the Seattle.
Yeah.
We get all the Seattle radio stations.
Do you guys not have local TV up there?
We do.
Oh, you do? You just
so
get the same signal?
Canada has a rule. And if you play any music on the radio, you have to play, I believe, 30 to 40% Canadian music.
Oh. Okay, what's up, China?
Well, they're acting like it right now, dude.
Now
I
the
don't
red,
know when-
now the red in the flag makes a little more sense.
Yeah. Oh, dude. That goes for I know for the new league that I'm in, you can only have 3 imports from United States. The rest have to be Canadian, which is awesome. I like that actually.
That's pretty standard for international, though, right?
Yeah, that's
Or
standard.
The rest have to be Canadian players. They can't be like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They all have to be Canadian. You got for the CFL, I think 30% of the roster has to be Canadian.
and literally the rest are Americans.
Correct, because they have
Yeah.
nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a thing where they try to keep Canadian, like keep that Canadian pride going on.
Yeah. So there's like rules and regulations in place to combat the little brother syndrome next to America.
Agreed. Otherwise, we 100%. If
Yeah.
you look at the border, if you look at a map, all the cities are right next to the like the American. Granted, everything else north of those cities is frigid tundra.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with climate, I'm sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, we are like, and Canadians, the Canadians that are listening to this are like, Rob, shut the hell up. Like,
Canadians are, I mean, a lot of stereotypes are correct. The positive ones, like they're crazy polite, insanely polite, very good people until, and they like, really like American culture. They're happy to discuss American culture, live American culture, et cetera, until it's convenient for them to discard
Same.
America.
100%.
Until it's convenient for
100%.
them to be like, oh, stupid Americans.
Yeah,
Rude
and I
ass
feel that way
Americans.
sometimes. I can be like, these Americans are idiots. Yeah. But then at the same time, I'm like, I'm looking at how they're still on lockdown in Canada right now. I'm like, these Canadians, what is going on up there? It reminds me of a South Park episode right now up there.
It's very much like a South Park episode. Oh, I'm just putting that together. That's great.
Like, dude, it is still on full lockdown up there. They're just finally opening where you can go from, like, they had zones in your province that you couldn't leave your certain zone.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So you couldn't go, let's say like Spokane had a zone and Seattle had, well, you couldn't travel from zone to zone. That's I don't know. That's just, we don't need to get political, but that is crazy to me. And so now that's where I become American and go, those Canadians, God,
Yeah, of course.
South Park characters.
We never get Canadian, or we never get political.
Yeah.
That was a slip up. For the most part, outside of the USA and other like crazy developed countries, we're in a bad spot still. People are on lockdown. I will tell you this. One of the more progressive liberal cities in the world, San Francisco, no more rules. No more masks in
Wait.
stores.
Go back. The rest of the world's still on lockdown?
Oh yeah, dude, check it out. Yeah,
I will check it out. I didn't know that.
Your boys in Japan are in a real bad spot.
I know they are.
Real bad spot. India is cracking off right now. COVID.
Your face. Yeah, I'm laughing at your face, not what's going on.
Well, and again, this is where the time traveling thing is important to
yeah,
lay
watch
out.
everything clear up in the next week.
It's June 16th, folks, as we're discussing this. Is there a Japanese 4th of July?
Dude, their holidays are crazy. Like, they have Golden Week, which is like, or is it Golden Month, where it's like everyone's off for like 3 weeks in the winter time.
Hell yeah.
I always lose track. I would always just be like, why is everybody out right now? And why is it like, what's going on? And then, oh, it's a holiday. What? Japan. I've been working on my Japanese, mind you. Been getting back into my Japanese. I think I insulted somebody, but I didn't know.
Please
I'm
share.
sorry. I was at a sushi restaurant and I was like, you know what? Let me work on my Japanese. And I started speaking to the old waitress in Japanese, and come to find out she's Korean. And she goes, "Oh."
That's not on you. That's not on you.
I said, "Gomenasai," and I still kept speaking Japanese, and I'm like, "Oh, no. Oh, kamsahamnida, which is thank you in Korean."
Oh, so you know a little bit of Korean as well.
Yeah, I've been to Korea. That place, dude, is awesome.
South Korea, I'm assuming.
Seoul is
Yeah.
it's I'm not gonna lie, it kind of in the back of your mind, you know that there is like a threat maybe 100 miles away from you that like could just bomb you at any moment. So
that wouldn't be in the back of my mind. That would be front row center the whole time I was in Seoul.
Like
that's just always, because I'm not used to being on the Korean peninsula, you know. It's not something I usually do.
Well, dude, they have a night market there. You can shop literally 24 hours.
You can shop 24 hours places here.
Really?
It's called Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's true too. That's true too. That's true. But you're in a night market, you can get all your like fake stuff there. It's awesome. That was really cool. Seoul was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. That was a fun time.
Whatever happened to your Japanese exchange student?
Masa?
Yeah.
I need to do a circle back and see what he's doing.
Like, is he still in your place? Do you need to go check on his room?
He's like my remember the Pink Panther? Like Kato, who just jump out at the Pink Panther at any time. That's Masa.
That's lost on me.
Really? You've never seen the Pink Panther?
Like with Peter Sellers?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, dude.
No.
What? Dude,
I know the theme song, and I think I saw bits and pieces of the Steve Martin version.
So you had this Japanese guy who worked for, like, he was like his butler, but the whole theme of this guy was to keep Peter Sellers, the Pink Panther, on his toes all the time. So what Kato would do he would just hide somewhere in the house constantly and then just jump out of nowhere and attack him out of nowhere, and just like he'd have to fight his butler off every time he walked into the house. You haven't seen that?
I mean, man, that would work, right? That would keep you on edge. That's no way to live, though, in my opinion.
No, not at all. No, I need to get that movie for you ASAP, and I need to reach out to Masa. That's a good point. I don't know where you made a good point. Maybe he's still in America. I think he is. School's still going on, so I should reach out to him.
Where was he going to, like high school somewhere?
He was going to high school over on the East Coast.
Okay.
So during the pandemic, he couldn't go back to Japan.
Got it.
So my team called me and was like, "Hey, can he just stay over at your place?"
Got it. Masa. Okay. Now it makes sense. Yeah.
Masa-san.
Do you have any 4th of July traditions?
Right now, it's been the Morrison. Hang out with the Morrisons.
Oh, on the old boat, huh?
Yeah, get on the boat, play some Leonard Skinner, some Dua Lipa.
Do you ever get to take over the aux, or does Adam have a firm grasp on the tunes that get played?
He has a firm grasp. You can give him a shot. You know how he gets. I don't. And the cool thing is we have the same music type. We like the same music, so I don't mind.
Untrue, not true. I'm willing to guess Adam does not wake up with Shania Twain on his brain.
That is true. My country. He doesn't listen to country, which that's fine. I don't know, man. Country is just something. There's nothing wrong with some good country. I love it. I think it's just because it's like, for the most part, it's not dark music,
Well, there is dark country, very dark, like Whiskey Lullaby, a song about a double suicide.
Oh, my favorite is The Summer.
Oh
by
yeah, it's
Garth
feel good
Brooks.
music. It's feel good music. Anyone who doesn't, I mean, we've been over this, but just to be clear with everybody, everyone who doesn't like country music, I would say maybe even specifically female country music, you just haven't listened to enough, and you don't like Sunshine and Flip Flops and
Right.
Sunscreen and
Daisy Dukes.
breaking up with boyfriends. You know?
Yeah. Well, dude, no. Like I said, that Garth Brooks, That Summer, he's talking about being
work for that.
yeah.
Summer.
Oh, he's talking about being a teenage kid hanging out with an older woman. Like, how awesome is that? The experience he learned that summer.
God, there's one genius line in that song. I watched her hands of leather turn to velvet in a touch. I didn't, for the record, those of you watching on YouTube know, I did not look that up. That's a lyric that sticks with me.
Oh man, that is the coldest line ever. Just the whole lyrics of that song. I'm like, when I listen to it, I'm like, is this considered like rape? Or is it like, what's going on here?
You know, Rob, if that was the other way around, that song would be quite problematic.
100%.
Quite problematic.
100%. I'm like, wait. Did she just seduce a young teenage kid?
Well, I think he's there. He's probably 18, 19, I want to believe. 17, 18, 19, 17, problematic. 18, 19, fair game.
Fair game.
I guess it depends on the state even too, right?
Exactly. It's Oklahoma. So they
dude, that song was he wrote that song in the mid 90s. Age of consent could have been like 15. 14
or something like that. Yeah, her hands and the thunder. Lightning running of the sky.
There had never been a summer I'd ever learned so much.
Yeah, right. Like, what did she put on him?
She put on a dress he was quite certain she hadn't worn in quite a while. That's what she did. Okay,
what kind of work did she bring him out there for too? Anyways,
dude,
okay.
He explains it in the song, I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Oh, are you bringing up the lyrics?
Now I'm bringing up the lyrics. That Summer, Garth Brooks. Now everyone's going to want to jam this.
Oh, because it's a great jam.
But guess what? Garth Brooks, you can't find his stuff on YouTube.
iTunes. I hate it.
Yeah, iTunes, all that. I went to work for her that summer, a teenage kid so far from home. She was a lonely widow woman, hell-bent to make it on her own. Well, she hired you, so she's not on her own. We were 1,000 miles from nowhere, Oklahoma. Wheat fields as far as I could see, both needing something from each other, not knowing yet what that might be. Here we go. So yeah, it is. We're going to get a cease and desist letter from Garth Brooks. Till she came to me one evening, hot cup of coffee and a smile.
See, I wouldn't. That's where you stop right there. When she has a cup of coffee, I'm like, I don't want coffee breath. But
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, and it's PM. I'm getting up at like 5 a.m. to do wheat stuff for you. Like, I don't need coffee right now. Whiskey's different. Till she came to me one evening, hot cup of coffee and a smile, and a dress that I was certain she hadn't worn in quite a while. There was a difference in her laughter, Rob. There was a softness in her eyes. And on the air, there was a hunger even a boy could recognize. Okay, so we've established. Yep.
Yeah, he's a boy.
Yep. Stuff 18. We need to track this woman down that Garth Brooks went to work for one summer.
Me too.
And we need to cancel her.
Yes.
She had a need to feel the thunder, to chase the lightning from the sky, to watch a storm with all its wonder raging in her lover's eyes. So if Garth Brooks wrote this without having experienced something like this, that's pretty insane. you know, because he's oddly specific and poetic about it.
No, he's very in detail.
Yeah, yeah. She had to ride the heat of passion. Whoa, ride. Hey, no.
Right. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like a comet burning bright. He thinks highly of himself, clearly. Rushing headlong into the wind. Out where only dreams have been, both ends, burning both ends of the night. Excuse me. Should I keep going here?
When you read it, it just, if I heard it from anybody else, I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable.
Oh, well, it's about to get more uncomfortable because this is like the moment up until I don't think he gives consent here. Here we go. The summer wind was all around me. Nothing between us but the night. When I told her that I've never, she softly whispered, "That's all right." That's a problem. That's a problem.
We got to really figure out, we need Garth Brooks on this so we can discuss.
And those who are getting upset, because I'm sure a lot of people love this song. Rob and I love this song.
I do too. It's a great song. We just breaking it down to what really happened.
We're looking at it through the lens of 2021. Not saying it's a better lens, but it's a different lens, and it's the lens we live. Okay, so I highlight this. When I told her that I'd never, she softly whispered, "That's all right." And then I watched her hands of leather turn to velvet in a touch. There's never been another summer when I have ever learned so much. Yeah, maybe it's one of those deals where 20 years later he realized that was not consensual. You know what I mean? And it's just he just
had a realization, and he just went, "Holy, I need to write this shit down." Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was it was a cry for help, but instead people were like, "This is a hell of a jam." So then he was like, "Oh, people don't care about my trauma. I guess I'll just make $1 billion." I often think about that summer, Rob. The sweat, the moonlight, and the lace. And I have rarely held another when I haven't seen her face. And I have rarely held another when I haven't seen her face. This is a lingering problem. This is an issue. Every other woman he's been with, she comes to mind. That is like...
That's a predator. She is a predator.
Yep, 101. Oh, God, when I haven't seen her face. And every time I pass a wheat field and watch it dancing with the wind, although I know it isn't real, I just can't help but feel her hungry arms again.
This is a cry for help.
This is a cry for help. And for 30 years, we've been ignoring it.
This is a cry for... That's why you went to Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines. Oh, was that his
dark
other?
That was his other. That's probably
yeah.
This is self-explanatory. We just really never broke it down.
I mean, it's well known that Garth Brooks is kind of a weirdo, right? And I think everyone chalked it up to him being crazy successful and not being able to relate to people. Turns out he's very relatable, and he was trying to relate to us, and we just considered it a banger.
Yeah, we just thought it was literally a banger.
Wow. Wow. We're going to have to put the explicit tag on this episode. But you know what? No, we didn't swear, and we were just reading lyrics to a Garth Brooks song.
Right. We're just breaking it down for everybody to know he's a cry for help. And then I wonder if she was the friend in low places.
No. Those are buds who get slams too often down at the watering hole, who've got nothing to live for.
Gotcha. I didn't know. No. He goes to a wedding. That's what friends in low places.
Maybe it's her wedding. No, probably not.
No. She's a widow. She's a widow.
But no. Okay, Rob. Clearly, okay. Friends in low places. He shows up to his ex's wedding, right?
Yep.
and he's drunk. He's clearly not invited, and he ruins the whole thing. Clearly, he self-sabotaged that relationship earlier because every time he's with his new partner, he sees this old woman.
Dude,
He can't have another relationship.
dude, we have
Unlocked.
unlocked. Garth, come on the show so we can discuss this.
Watch him stumble upon this YouTube clip and him call immediately in tears and be like, "You guys finally figured it out. Thank God."
Right? I've been crying, been telling everybody in Vegas for the last 20 years.
Living in a prison of my own emotions. No one has figured it out but you guys. We hear you, Garth.
We're right here, buddy.
Good God.
If you need to talk, we're here. We're here to listen.
Well, Rob, I mean, we were going to do 4th of July drafts, but I guess we can kick that till next week when it's actually 4th of July week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it next week?
Well, no, but when we record next week, people on time travel.
No, I get that, but it's still next week is 4th of July. I get that. Like, or guess this week is 4th of July.
Brother, the year's over. Summer's over. It's 2022. Just got to deal with it.
Dude, where'd the time go?
I know, COVID. COVID has claimed a year and a half of our lives. That's a fact.
That's incredible. It's truly incredible.
Good news. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be up in Spokane. We're going to record some stuff out of the studio with all the fun Speak people. Shout out Brennan for making it all possible.
Yep.
Guest book. Nothing confirmed yet, but we're working on it. And it's going to be a good time. We're going to have some laughs.
Oh man, it's going to be a great time.
Are you rattled? You're ruined for the rest of the day. I'm sorry. You got a whole day ahead of you. And now you're just going to think of poor
Garth.
I'm
going to now listen to a bunch of Garth music, like the rodeo.
And there goes the rodeo.
That one. And I'm too young to feel this damn old.
Yep.
That's my favorite one.
Okay. Well, here's what we established today. Garth Brooks had zero experience. A. B. He never gave consent.
Oh my God.
And every woman he's with here on out, he sees her. And B, every time he sees a wheat field, which I'm guessing he sees a good amount of wheat fields. You
right.
know what I mean? So that's every day.
Absolutely. I now no wonder he feels old. No wonder when he's felt young, he feels this damn old.
That was the last summer of his life. She robbed him of his youth and life.
Oh, poor Garth.
His innocence gone down the drain. See you never.
Yeah. Well,
what are you gonna do? He made $1 billion off the song.
Exactly.
Rob.
Well,
good chat, pal. Oh, quick note. There's a great, very short Sports Illustrated article on the relationship of Chet Holmgren and Jalen Suggs. Give it a peep. It literally, it's going to take like 2 minutes of your time, everybody. So enjoy that. Maybe I can't trade Minnesota because it's the Gonzaga pipeline. So
oh, there you go. Are these their first two Minnesota guys? Yeah.
No. Mr. Sam Dower, pal.
Oh,
one of the
Sammy D, my Brooklyn Park, my bad.
No.
My bad. That I apologize. That was ignorant on me.
Fan of the show. Wow, that would have been bad if we let that one slip.
Yeah, thank you. My bad, Sammy D. I completely Brooklyn Park, I just thought was a different world.
Dower Power. Well, it could still be. Be. Rob, what do you have for us?
Oh, first of all, I want to say thank you to our listeners again. And I want to appreciate you, Jack. You make this show kick ass. So I appreciate you. Appreciate our listeners and subscribers. Keep subscribing. And I got whatever you do, don't get stuck on the one thing that ruins your day. Life is too short, so don't waste it on negativity.